Hey everybody, how you doing? That's right. Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao to hire Robert Bobb as Chief Administrative Officer. Such a desire and citing a desire to have an experienced, steady hand to run the city of Oakland, Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao threw out what she calls a Hail Mary and told a source she decided to hire former Oakland City Administrator Robert Bobb to be her new CIO. There's no secret that Mayor Thao admires Robert Bobb and has thought about him essentially reprising the role of chief administrative officer that he held from 1997 until he was unjustly fired in 2002 in a move that many I saw as completely unwarranted. And why did Sheng Thao note that, and why did Sheng Thao note why he was fired? Because simply Robert Bobb, called generally Mr. Bobb by his former employees and fans, was working to build a downtown ballpark for the Oakland Athletics. That's right, that's what he was doing. Robert Bobb got fired because he was working to build a downtown ballpark for the Oakland Athletics in a 15-acre spot at the corner of 22nd and Telegraph in what is now called Uptown Oakland. Okay. Since then, Robert Bobb has built on what was already a stellar and heavily decorated career as a city administrator before he came to Oakland. He was almost immediately hired to be CAO after Jerry fired him in 2002 by the District of Columbia. That's right, Washington, D.C. And during that time, Mr. Bobb did for Washington, D.C. what he wanted to do for Oakland. He brought the Montreal Expos to Washington to become the Washington Nationals and built them a downtown baseball stadium. How do you like them apples, right? It's what he did. They became the Washington Nationals of Major League Baseball. Mr. Bobb was most notably appointed by then Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm as the emergency financial manager for the Detroit Public Schools and served in that role until the year 2011. He was recently appointed, was Mr. Bobb, to serve in the Reopen DC Committee in Washington, D.C. Robert Bobb has become a highly sought after government consultant, and he and his staff has helped scores of governments in various roles around the country. Now, he will take on his biggest challenge, should he accept the job, of reviving Oakland. I have to admit some personal bias here, a great prejudice, because it was Robert Bobb as chief administrative officer back in 1999 through 2000 who put me in charge of heading Oakland's effort to bring the Super Bowl to our great city. We went after the 2005 Super Bowl game. How that happened is a movie unto itself, or should be. But Robert Bobb and Bill Claggett got together and planned to put $80,000 into the Oakland Alameda County Sports Commission that I created from scratch, got approval for in record time, and put Oakland in position to be just 8 NFL votes short of being the host of the 2005 Super Bowl that Jacksonville won the right to host. But Mayor Brown, of course, put the kibosh on that because he fired me and because I accused him of, well, being racist in an email to my board. Brown's actions, I might add, were against California law. So that's my bias. But Robert Bobb is the breath of fresh air that we need here in a city that is really in a great deal of trouble. Everyone acknowledges looks absolutely horrible and believes that we need competent, serious, experienced management at the top. That would be Robert Bobb if he decided to take the job that Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao wants to hire him to. And folks, That is a one giant sized Lurpa sloof. Lurpa sloof. That's right. But it's one that is very rooted in reality. And if you don't know what Lurpa sloof is, just take those words and put them in a mirror. April Fool. Now, I was about to say subscribe to Zenny62 and then bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com, but one moment. I do a series of these. Well, not a series, but one of these every year. One time I did do a series of April Fool news, but it's always with a twist. My strategy has always been to take something that was just north of possible, just like a smidgen, almost an alternative universe, like a sort of but for situation, and use that as my April Fool. The one that I did, I think, that had the biggest impact of all was when I blogged. I didn't vlog it then, probably should have, but I blogged that then Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf was going to hire Bill Bratton, the not so popular, very controversial, depending on you talk to, once police commissioner of New York, to be the Oakland police chief. Boy, oh, everyone went ape. Oakland District 4, then Oakland District 4 council member Annie Campbell Washington called me begging me to retitle that, because she thought it was just Zinni. Everyone's asking me if this is true. I said, well, all they have to do is read to the bottom. You know, just read to the bottom. It's a test, and has been a test for determining how much a person's willing to read or listen, right? But it also is always a bellwether, a marker about or two Oakland's problems and what to do to solve them. I do this every year. So here's the latest. And that ends this broadcast. We'll see you. Thanks for watching.